I'm gonna do the mic. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast, episode 75. This is the podcast where we like to normalize checking in on the homies. I'm Mike. That is also Mike. And we have a fun one today.
Do we?
We do, because we're back. We worked through last week.
We did.
And he'll be happy. He'll be happy to know that, you know, I saw a movie with him first. And I saw it again, but a different time.
Yeah.
So,
which time did you like it more?
you know, it's not even important. That's not what's important. What's important is we're here. Episode 75. We're almost 100.
I know. It's wild.
It's crazy.
It's wild to think that we've come this long and this far and this hard. You know what I mean? What are we still doing here? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude.
I'm definitely curious to see, as the episodes have progressed and as the time has gone by, how many less people we're helping since the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. I really hope that our random banter can at least, maybe can at least help with your mental state for the week or for the day. And that being said, let's jump into our mental health check.
All right, mental health check. It's where we like to check in weekly, see where we're at mentally, so that if we're going well, what are we doing that's helping us? Maybe coping strategy that is working, and if we're in a funk, maybe what are we neglecting to do that is keeping us in that funk? Michael,
you can go first.
Oh, okay, I'll go first. Mentally, I'm doing well. I feel like physically, I'm not where I want to be. I haven't had an opportunity to exercise like I want to, but
this is how it starts, man.
No.
This is how it starts. All of a sudden, you got to buy bigger shirts.
Well, it's not just that. I like my sleep has been pretty rough. Also, I haven't been in my own bed, and I've.
Oh,
hold on, let me backtrack.
Oh,
camera.
Developments.
No. I have friends that have been staying with me from Germany. Yeah. Shout out to Jay and Natasha. And so they have my room. And gotcha. So I haven't had my bed.
Okay.
It's not as cool as
that's not as cool as it sounds.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I just feel like I've had just a lot of like interrupted sleep, I guess. I don't sleep.
Are you sleeping out on the couch?
I bounce around the couch. Sometimes I'm in the guest room. But anyway, other than that, mentally I feel like I'm doing well. It's been nice. We got music for one of our projects, a new song, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. I've been messing with that. Yeah, I think
that song rips.
It rips, dude.
It rips so hard.
It fucking rips.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been a good week. I got to practice with Burner State. Mm-hmm. where we got to practice once before our show in May 26th, Ty's birthday party. And we hadn't. So we recorded the album, but it's like different from like playing, jamming. And some of these songs, they're not on the album, so we haven't played some of these songs in months.
Yeah.
And so for us to kind of get together and play some of these songs we've been playing forever, rusty for sure, but it was nice to be like, oh, so it'll work. 26 will be fine.
You guys sounded good though. You guys sounded good.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from you having to read your own lyrics,
That was for the new songs.
For the new songs.
That was for the new songs. I don't know our new songs yet.
no, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was good. So so mentally, I feel like I've been good. I'm in a good place. But yeah, I just need to get my exercise in line.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I've been good. I have been like on the grind a lot. Like I was just like picking up little odd jobs here and there, trying to do like as much voiceover work as I can, just to kind of like now that I've kind of chilled on spending money. I say that as we look at this room, but I've kind of chilled on like big purchases and things like that. Like that was my last. Obviously, that was my last big purchase, but
Note this episode 75.
75. that was my last big purchase. I bought another guitar.
He's got to the point where his nice Fender doesn't even have a stand. It's just
No, that's
It's
not
just-
that's not true. My nice Fender actually goes above you, but it casts a shadow on the wall. So we take it down to film the episode so that nobody gets distracted by this little shadow on the wall.
okay.
But it's making me nervous. I keep staring at it because
Yeah.
I'm like waiting for it to shift.
All right.
But anyways, yeah. I've been kind of trying to shift things around a little bit. I sold the squat rack from the gym in the garage,
Oh, that's right.
which cleared up a lot of, because the end goal is to like right now I'm paying like 200 something a month for a storage unit for our excess crap basically. And so like with crime not working and like, you know, things like that, and me having to kind of pick up the slack on that. Basically I'm like, how can we cut costs and how can we like, I have a gym membership. I also have access to the Drayson Center with Loma Linda. So
yeah.
I legit have like, if I don't go to 24, I can go there. And then I kept like the dumbbells and like I got like just a flat bench, like just a regular flat bench that I can move around the garage, and I have the treadmill in there still.
So we still prison workout.
Yeah, so we can still prison workout, which we'll probably get more buff that way anyways.
Yeah.
But I like the squat rack and like the Olympic size bar and all this stuff was realistically just taking up space. And I realized at one point that it just became like a hanger. Right?
Yeah.
Because like we're just hanging stuff that needs to dry in there. So by clearing that out, it opened up like this whole big space in the garage. And I kind of used the money from the squat rack to buy like nice shelving so that we can put all the stuff that's in storage into the garage. And then the difference like pretty much went to the rest of the guitar. So at the end of the day, it didn't really spend that much money, you know.
It was
So,
a deal. You
yeah.
You did get a good deal on it.
It was a deal. It was a good bundle package deal situation. But other than that, man, I've just been like, yeah, just trying to get myself back on track. Still been working out. Still been like watching what I eat. Haven't had a soda since I came back from Costa Rica. Haven't had a Red Bull.
See it in the face. Look at you.
It's also the way probably the way I trimmed up my beard too, like kind of shaped it, chiseled out the face a little bit, you know. But thank you, I'll take it. So yeah, just getting back on track.
No. Wait, so are you still doing the 75?
The Diamond 75. I mean, I failed by not taking pictures, but I'm still pretty much sticking on top of it.
Other than
Taking pictures, I'm pretty much doing everything else.
Good.
So, I've been working out. I've been playing my guitar at least an hour a day. I've been meal prepping. I actually ordered meal preps from that one meal prep company.
Oh yeah.
This week.
This is good.
So I did call in sick today because, you know, like this weekend I had that migraine that wouldn't go away. Still there this morning. And so I just like...
Is it a tumor?
I don't know. I mean, it's starting to go away now. Like, there's just a little bit there, but I've just had a migraine for like 4 days now, something like that. And that's probably, it could be stress. It could be whatever. I'm like prone to migraines anyways. But this morning I was just like, I'm just going to take today and just, you know, like chill. So it was just like I had the house to myself pretty much for a while. So you know what that means. I napped.
Walking around
I
naked.
played guitar for a while, walked around naked. But yeah, good. Good. Chewie was like, "What's that?" So we kind of pre-show hinted at it, but we saw Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm kind of curious now that you've seen it twice, what your take on it. And I have a little theory that I read that kind of like is interesting, which is a spoiler, but not really a spoiler, right? So at the end of the movie, Groot says something,
Yeah.
right? Says something other than "I am Groot."
Yeah.
But there's a theory that did he really say that, or have we just spent so much time with Groot throughout these movies that now we understand what he's saying?
kind of like that we now understand what he's saying.
I kind of like it.
Like we had a Gamora moment.
Yeah.
I like that.
I also saw an article that I don't know if it was real or not, but said Vin Diesel almost got fired from this movie because he kept forgetting his lines.
He's all trying to talk for reals. They're like, that's not
Vin,
it's not
okay.
I like that he did a ton of takes too. Did you hear about that? That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, he did like a ton of like you want to get like the emotion of it.
Yeah.
So should we go what we liked, what we didn't?
Yeah.
Are we spoiling?
Should we do spoilers on
I
this?
feel like by the time it comes out, it's like
Jesse, have you seen it?
No.
Oh.
You guys didn't take me with you.
Yeah, but you can still go on your own. Did you see it?
Yeah. We don't have to be your only link to movies, Jesse.
I'm just saying. Are you okay with us spoiling this for you?
Doesn't matter. It's cool.
All right, cool.
So obviously the best part was fucking Tony Stark coming
Yeah,
back.
that was sick. You know, like I won't go too heavy into spoilers, but I will say like I thought that this movie was gonna hit me in the feels way more than it actually did. I think that like I get it. I get why everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's so emotional," you know, shit like that. But like, I thought, you know,
It could have
gone way
Yeah.
different. I feel like I don't think the word is that James Gunn played it safe, but I feel like he was like, you guys are expecting this, and I'm gonna give you this. You know, and it's not a bad thing. I think the movie was great. I think that like, you know, it did hit on all the emotional points that it needed to hit on, like giving that whole history of Rocket, the villain, awesome. But I just think that like it was all like I don't know how to explain it. Like I wanted what we didn't see in a weird way.
because you like The Last of Us and you love being hurt.
Yeah, I want to be hurt by this.
You want to
know?
be.
I wanted my John Wick moment. That's what I wanted. And instead I got like happiness.
Yeah. Because I mean,
I'm damaged, okay?
like, 'cause, I mean, I feel like it was almost a given. Oh, Drax is gonna die.
Yeah.
Because just in general, Batista I think is leaving Disney.
And he's like, I'm done. Like he said in an interview, like, I'm in my 50s. Like, how much longer can I keep up like physique and all this stuff like that? And you know, somebody like that who's worked out their whole lives, like obviously they're still gonna take care of themselves. But he's right though, like the stress you put on your body to stay in shape like that for everything. And I think that's part of why Drax was like in a, you know, suited up most of the time, because it was like, it's all right, big guy, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't
take a break. Like we'll just put you in a suit. But you know, he didn't. Spoiler.
I know, but it's like I think that's kind of like, I guess it kind of plays into like James Gunn's genius in the sense that like, I think everyone's like, oh, he's gonna kill him off. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But instead of killing him off, then you give him this like super emotional like, and the line delivered by Nebula, which is kind of crazy. She had a lot of like beautiful like moments. Like it was weird for her. Just
full character arc for her.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not meant to be a destroyer. You're meant to be a dad. Which is like okay, like wouldn't expect her to deliver. Yeah.
Fucking right, man.
A moment that caught me off guard, I wasn't ready for it, was when Gamora goes to punch Peter, and then Gamora catches it because she's like, so then she catches her punch, and she's like, "We're family," and she's like, "So is he."
Yeah,
like just little things like that. I was like, "Dang, dude." Yeah, Nebula.
I think they did a really good, and I think that was the underlying, message throughout this whole movie was that like you can create a family out of like the people that you surround yourself with, right? Like even Rocket's story, which was fucking heart-wrenching, right? Seeing Rocket's story and seeing like Rocket's homies and like, was it batch 80, 89, 86, 89? One of those two. And so like, and then the realization that like, oh, you guys are just steps and phases in the process of creating the perfect being, right? Like you guys are just throwaway experiments, but Rocket is the one that exceeded. Yeah. Right. Why did he exceed? What was it about him that made him so special compared to everybody else? And that's the driving factor behind everything. But like just like the family that Rocket found before he was even Rocket, before he even knew he was a raccoon, right? Like the family he found there versus the family that he has now. It just goes to show you that like that message of it's who we surround ourselves with and who we bring together in our lives. It was emotional, man.
Yeah, dude. Just the usage of raccoons in this movie.
So many. I kept Martin was in between me and Mike, and like I kept like turning over to like to say something to you, and then remembering Martin was there, but like I couldn't tell if you were like hard at some points or if you were just emotional at some points, or if you were just like, because like there'd be moments where I thought it was like you leaning forward in your chair.
I was doing a lot of this.
It was like this. Yeah. At one point.
Man, freaking just anytime I had just like little Rocket, and like him talking and like, oh, dude. Fucking James Gunn, dude. And then his friends, and they all come up with names. That whole scene, dude. Or when they're playing tag together, like, oh. Yeah. Dude. So parts that almost got me too, and I feel like there's something about a good scream. Freaking when his friends, and he just starts screaming, like he's crying, but he's screaming. I was like, oh fuck.
It was definitely. It was a Midwest emo moment. Like you could have put that riff over it, and it would have been fucking perfect.
And Peter too. Peter had one too when Rocket flatlined.
I'm curious to see what they do with Peter moving forward.
Yeah, because he'll be back.
Yeah, because they said he'll be back. And what members of the Guardians we'll see moving forward as well. Because not all of them are coming back. Right. There's going to be, Drax is off doing this, or Mantis is off doing this, or whatever. We know that there's basically a new team of Guardians that we saw at the end. But I'm curious to see what we see in movies moving forward. Like, Rocket obviously is going to be one of the mainstays, but who else is going to be part of that team, and at what capacity are we going to see them in? Because I feel like if we see Peter, he's not going to be with the Guardians.
Yeah. Do you think, let's fast forward a couple years, and the next Endgame on your left moment, Do you think the big emotional punch would be seeing the original Guardians come back together?
That would be cool. I don't know if we're gonna have a moment like that though. I don't know if we are. I think this whole timeline shift of everything is gonna kind of change that. So we'll see a team of Guardians, but I don't think it'll be the original team that we once had.
Original with new old Gamora.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there anything? I guess we kind of talked about some of our. I guess those are the most emotional parts. What were some like your favorite parts of the movie?
There was a fight scene. I like kind of like one of the bigger towards the end fight scenes that looked very like comic book splash page, like, you know, the perfect like shots where you're like the camera spinning and you're seeing one person do something and then you see fighting going on in the background and everything just looks fucking sick. I always love those big like comic book splash page moments, like even in like the first Avengers where they're like going to storm that base and then they like there's the moment where they're fucking on motorcycles and shit.
Oh yeah.
And then it like freezes as all of them are going through the woods, like shit like that. Like it's corny, but at the same time it's like, this is so sick. You know, this is the 2 pages.
The part I think you're talking about is like the hallway kind of. It's not a hallway, it's like a little room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I love how that was kind of that whole. I mean, these movies are, you know, whatever, they're fun, they're corny, but I felt like that was like a fun, deserved thing because now they finally have Rocket back, and then like he basically leads the charge to go after him, and then they open it up and it's like these. I don't know. I love shit like that.
Yeah.
That's why I love so much. That's why I loved John Wick, the latest one. Just seeing how it's like just that confrontation where everyone's like it's like, oh, they're gonna.
Yeah.
There's no mysteries here. They're gonna throw down. They're gonna throw down.
Still though, the steps in John Wick are unfucking touched.
Dude.
You got 3 minutes left and he gets fucking thrown all the way down to the bottom of the stairs.
That's probably one of the most like stressful. It's like the most stressful I've been like in a theater in a minute. Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to come from a movie like John Wick. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, fuck.
Another scene I really liked, which wasn't really an action scene at all, was when, you know, he's like pouring his heart out to Gamora in the suits. And he hits the comm button.
That was good.
And then they're like, you know, this is an open channel, right? And he's like, what? No, I hit the blue suit. And they're like trying to explain how like, no, blue actually means everybody. Red actually means this and this and this. And he's like, that doesn't even make sense.
Oh, Drax, he's like, that was brutal. That was hard.
There was another thing that he said, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had that whole like every time that Peter would be like, we've got to save him, that's my best friend, Drax would just be like, second best friend. From the background.
I want one of those whatever the nuts are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, that's I'm all out.
One of the things I liked about this movie is I felt like it was a bit of a return to like good MCU.
Yeah.
Not great, but it was good.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a solid movie.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun, and it had the right amount of like action scenes, heartfelt scenes, you know, overall. I've seen a lot of people like tout this as like, this is a perfect movie. And I could see it. I could see where they're coming from. I think it was great. I don't know. It's hard for me now, especially with Marvel movies, to separate like Endgame.
Like pre-Endgame and now?
Like pre-Endgame and even just Endgame in and of itself. Like, how do you top that? Right? Like, I feel like we built up to this fucking epic movie. And like, nothing's going to be more emotional and more like chilling than that on your left moment. Right?
Yeah.
And the Avengers Assemble moment. Like, that's huge. Like, everything led to that moment. And now it's almost like we're like picking up the pieces and trying to reach for that again. And I think Guardians, I mean, we've seen a couple good Marvel movies lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Wakanda Forever was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think Guardians was great. But then we've seen some that were just kind of like, okay, you know. And then now with all this shit going on with majors, I mean,
And the writers strike or
the
whatever.
writer's strike. Yep. Like, I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm sure on camera that looked fucking crazy because it looked like I just hit myself in the dick. But I was messing with. I was like messing with my shoe, and I was like, but yeah, I'm curious to see how the MCU continues on with like the Kang Dynasty storyline, and like Secret Wars and Secret Invasion and all this stuff like that.
Well, in a weird way, and it's like, I mean, obviously it's like weird. It's a weird cop out, I guess, or not really, but I mean, it is multiverse, so they could just be like, oh, this is the Kang that everyone's afraid of.
So, but that was another thing. That was another question I had. Like, how does this Guardians movie tie into this whole new, like phase that Marvel's creating? Like, there was no real references or ties to anybody else.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's. Man, I don't know. I think story wise, I can't see.
It was like it was just like an end cap to a storyline.
But I mean, they did introduce Adam Warlock.
True.
Which is cool, new character. Yeah, I don't know. In a way, I kind of like that it didn't tie into like multiverse shit. I don't know. I'm still not sold on it. I'm not totally bought in yet because I just don't feel like it's. I don't know. I still feel like there's not a whole lot of like it's hard to have stakes when you can just keep bringing someone back.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this in the past. Like, I think somewhere along the line there's going to be that defining moment where we go, oh, that makes all this shit that they've been doing make sense, make more sense, but we haven't hit that yet. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we're kind of like, okay.
Yeah, because you think about it, I don't know how many movies we went until we finally realized, like, oh shit, Thanos is collecting the stones from the Infinity Gauntlet, and they actually said it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have that moment. I don't know. I just want good shows, good content, good movies. This was nice. It felt like a return of like.
Yeah, it was like overall like taking it out of the whole like formula that they have. It was a fun movie to watch, and it was cool. Like I feel like it's a movie that anybody can go watch and appreciate it, regardless of whether they're invested in the Marvel universe or not.
Yeah, and they didn't really undercut. I think some of the like the heavy parts, like some of them they let it be heavy. They let it be, sad or whatever it was. I did kind of like that Rocket fucked him up real good, and then at the end you see him, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. I liked, because at first I couldn't understand why his face was the way it was.
Yeah.
Right? Like why it's like pulled back, and then like as like you see the flashbacks, and I'm kind of like, oh, well, he's got a little bit of the thing there. Maybe he's just aging so much that it's like it's I don't know. But yeah, it was sick.
So then I wish they would have gone into more is that what was his name? The bad guy?
I don't know how to remember. The something.
Yeah. But
the ambassador or some shit like that.
Like, I wanted to understand like why because there was moments where he looked drunk, and they're like, oh, he got to have his treatment early. I felt like we were missing something about the character.
We're missing a piece. Like, why is he? Yeah, like what is his goal, and like how long has he been doing this?
Yeah,
I could explain it.
Yeah, like how long has he been doing it? I thought there was like there was like a kind of a cool reference where they're like, oh, in some parts of the galaxy, he's God. Because he created the Sovereign, he created all these different, things. But I don't know. I just felt like there's like a couple things. I feel like we're like missing some of like key things to like him. Because like there's 2 moments where he almost like appears drunk.
Yeah.
I don't think it's drunk. I think it's like something else.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Well, anything else you want to go touch on?
I don't think so.
How did it feel watching that first with me?
You know, it felt good. It felt like old times. It felt like it should. You know,
The old days.
it was funny because so like when we were talking about the movie or whatever, I was Martin had texted me and was like, "Yo," he had asked me about something or something. We were just like shooting the shit, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just heading home." And I was like, "Oh, me and Mike are gonna go watch Guardians. If you want to roll." And he's like, "No, I'm cool on that." And I was like, "Okay." And it was just at work, like, you know, that's the typical Martin response to things like that. So just whatever. And then he called me.
He doesn't know what a Guardian of the Galaxy is.
Yeah. So he calls me and then he's like, "Yo, so you're going to that movie?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, I'll go." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So, yeah, it was a little unexpected last minute addition.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, Martin, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Martin likes movies, apparently. Apparently not.
All right, so I have so shifting away from Guardians, I have one thing for you, potentially two.
Okay.
All right. So both of these are kind of like weird scenarios that I'm curious to see what your response would be. So the first one, so these are from the Reddit "Am I the Asshole" threads, and this person said, "Would I be the asshole for not attending my twin brother's surprise party birthday dinner when I was only invited as a guest?" Let that sink in, because it had to sink in for me to be like, because at first I was like, yeah, who cares? Then I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
Yeah, it's your birthday too. All right. So would I be the asshole for not attending my twin brother's surprise birthday dinner when I'm only invited as a guest? So I'm a twin. My brother and I hang out all the time and we're super close. In a few days, it's our 25th birthday. We share the same friend group and we're all really close and have been since high school. He has a close group of girlfriends, about 5 of them, who I've also known for many years. I would class them as being closer with him in recent years, but we are all still good friends and socialize often together. Now, I've been added to a group chat labeled my brother's name surprise dinner. It's a surprise birthday dinner for my twin brother organized by one of the girls in that group, and they have invited me as a guest. One of them also said in the group that it would be nice to see me as well. So I just feel like an afterthought. I wouldn't really have minded if the girls wanted to organize a surprise birthday evening exclusively for my brother and themselves, but they have also invited my partner and some of my brother and I's closest friends. This feels inconsiderate and quite upsetting, as I can't understand why I would be invited to my literal twin brother's surprise birthday dinner with me only invited as a guest, and it is also my birthday, involving all of our friends. My girlfriend also found this action to be extremely rude and wondered why this girl didn't reach out to her, and then they could have organized a surprise involving both of us instead of just my brother. In the chat, it is clearly stated that we are all to arrive at one time while my brother is due to arrive 20 minutes later. The thought of attending makes me feel weird because it's just a celebration for quote-unquote his birthday when him and I are literally born on the same day. This isn't new information to the organizer. Also, every year my brother and I do something together because we want to and because we have the same friends. Last year, our friends and my girlfriend set up a massive dinner for our birthday to which everyone was invited, including this group of girls. So now I'm at a crossroads. I don't know whether or not to attend. On one hand, if I don't go, I'll feel left out because our mutual friends are going. But on the other hand, if I do go, I'll feel like I'm letting myself be disrespected and will likely feel uncomfortable as it feels like only my brother is being celebrated. So would I be the asshole if I took a stand and I didn't go?
I think it's one of those classic cases of one brother being cooler than the other. Like, you know, why? Maybe there's a reason why it's for your brother and not you.
Oh, it sucks to say that, but you might be right.
You know what I mean?
But also,
that's kind of weird.
Yeah. But also, it's like, why would you include him on the text too, though?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's the weird part. Maybe him and this chick don't get along. Maybe
There's probably history there.
There's history there, like why they don't like each other, or maybe this chick has the hots for his brother, and then isn't just quite thinking this through.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe there's a surprise within the surprise.
And then he doesn't show up for his own surprise within the surprise.
That is kind of weird though, to be like, hey.
Yeah.
But
on a surface level, it's definitely like weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially if these people have all been friends with each other for so long. They've all kind of hung out in the same friend group. They've all been together, celebrated the same birthday every year for the twins. Now, just to do one-on-one, that's like I feel like there's something that we're missing there.
yeah,
A piece that we're missing.
there's a piece missing. Maybe there is a surprise for him.
Yeah.
So later time, I don't know.
So if you were the brother, would you go?
I would go. I mean, it's for my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you?
I just show up hammered.
Just show up, fucking rip roaring.
As he's like walking up to the door, I'm already screaming, "Happy birthday! Happy birthday, la." Just ruin it.
From That's My Boy.
I don't know if I would go if I was the brother. What I would do, you know what I would do? Oh,
Tell the brother.
no, just to be a dick.
Show up as the other.
I'd tell my brother, hey, let's do something for our birthday. And like make plans with the brother separate from the surprise party because he doesn't know. Make my own fucking party. Fuck that.
Or you show up 19 minutes
Ooh, that's a good one.
dressed up as your other brother. So you get the surprise, and they're like, "Hey, surprise!" And you're like, "It's not me, whatever, but thanks."
We wasted the good surprise on you.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's funny. What a world of like the twins world must be pretty.
It's got to have its ups and downs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
I love that. There's an SNL skit. I've seen it with Chris Hemsworth, and I forget the name of the other person, but they're twins, but it's Chris Hemsworth and then one of the SNL cast members.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a clear difference, and and so they're like trying to like play prank on their teacher, being like, "Oh, I'm this brother," and then everyone's like, "No, we knew it was you. Like, you're like your other brother. He's got like chest, like pecs and stuff. Yours is more like soft, whatever. He's got like a nice like firm butt. Yours is like one that looks like it just gets sat on." And they just keep ripping into him, and he's like, okay, guys, okay, and like to the point where like,
Okay, guys.
I forget yeah. Anyway, funny.
Did you know that I watched an interview? I think it was with Rami Malek. He's a twin, and he said in the interview, because they asked him, it was one of the late night hosts. They're like, "Did you guys ever do the twin thing where you would swap?" And he was like, "Yeah, actually, my brother was in a college course and he had to do a monologue for his final, and he was like, 'Hey man, can you come in and do this monologue for me?' Like, I can't do it." So he goes, I did it. I dressed up like my brother and I went in and I delivered the monologue, and the teacher pulled me aside afterwards and was like, "I didn't know you had that in you." And she's like, can you actually come back and do that for my other class?" And he goes, well, did I pass the class? Did I get the passing grade? And the teacher's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Then no." He's like, and then I left.
Dude,
So
that's funny. That's not what I thought. I thought he'd be like, "Yeah," and like performed all week.
yeah.
And his brother just comes into the class. Well, what's the other?
So the other one's this one's a little more okay, so let me I'll just read it to you and let's get your opinion here.
All right.
So it says, "Am I the asshole for not making my daughter apologize for quote unquote traumatizing her cousin?" Brace yourselves, people.
Ooh.
All right, we went to my parents' place for lunch during the bank holiday weekend. my sister's daughter, Ella, who's 9 years old, has unfortunately been fighting a rare form of cancer for the past 2 years. She's lost her hair and wears a wig and is never seen without it. Since her cancer diagnosis, Ella has unfortunately become quite nasty. I understand she's scared and probably very angry about how her life has turned out, but she absolutely terrorizes her cousins, particularly my 7-year-old Haley. We should have put a stop to this a long time ago, but it's hard to tell off a sick child and not look like the bad guy. The kids were playing outside when we heard somebody crying. Ella had dared Haley to lick a muddy puddle and gotten the rest of the kids to demand she did it. They were all egging her on, and Ella had my sister's phone and was filming it. When the adults came outside, I took Haley and made clear she didn't have to do anything and that this quote-unquote game stopped immediately. Ella still had the phone and was filming us and said, maybe we'll make her do it later. Haley was crying her eyes out. She let go of me, ran up to Ella, pulled off her wig, and threw it into the puddle. Ella started screaming and ran to her parents. She was hyperventilating and screaming for her parents to stop everyone looking at her. They took Ella into a room to calm her down, but my parents went mad at Haley, saying taking Ella's wig was a disgusting thing to do. They said Haley has no idea what Ella has to face every day. And then in quotations, it says, my dad also survived cancer, so this is quite personal to him. Ella's parents came out and said that their daughter doesn't want anyone to see her. They said Ella is traumatized by everyone seeing her without her hair. My sister called Haley a horrible child and that only an evil person would think about taking a little girl with cancer's wig. Mind you, this girl's 7. Mm-hmm. I defended Haley and said that Ella and the others were clearly bullying and tormenting her, but my sister said it's not her or her daughter's problem if Haley can't handle quote-unquote girly teasing. My parents and my sister, brother-in-law agreed that they want a written apology from Haley to Ella, one which shows that she understands what a cruel thing she did. I said that was not going to happen. We left with Haley, but I'm still seething. I'm truly sorry that Ella is having to go through cancer. Mm-hmm. She was tormenting my daughter, ganging up on her and filming the whole thing. Haley obviously shouldn't have taken the wig, but she was very upset and being bullied. Mm-hmm. Am I the asshole?
See, I don't see the problem in having like both sides apologize
to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's simple. Like I feel like that's like the easiest one because it's like they're both. It's like one of those like both wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're both in the wrong.
Yeah.
I think the parents are more the assholes than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because going after a 7-year-old, telling her that she's disgusting and she's truly an evil person, I think is probably the shittiest thing you can do to a 7-year-old. Like
that's traumatizing.
Yeah, that's
to hear adults talking about you like that.
Yeah, like and talk directly to you. Not even like I heard this in passing. Like, oh, my fucking uncle just came to me and said I was an evil person.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
We've all done our share of, crazy things to cousins.
This Mike was the bully. This Mike was bullied when we were younger, And then now look how the turns have tabled.
Yeah, turns table.
We're both bullies. Shut up, Jesse. I'm just kidding.
I've just gotten better at it. I've evolved. Yeah.
This isn't even my final form.
I can hurt you with just my words. Yeah, I think it's more of a parent issue.
Yeah. Both kids should apologize to each other. I don't think the mom's the asshole for defending her child, though.
Right.
I think, hey, you handled that correctly. Yes, there should be apology from your kid, but also there should be apology from the other kid, too.
Yeah.
Cancer is absolutely terrible. And especially for a kid to go through this, it's like probably 10 times more difficult, right?
Yeah.
But
it doesn't give you a license to be an asshole.
Yeah. It doesn't give you a license to take that out on everybody else. And I think that the parents need to be the ones to explain that to her.
These were good ones, Michael.
Thanks, man. I'm here all week.
I like them. All right. Well, we have a couple questions that came in. So I just asked episode 75 taking questions via the men. So this is what we got.
Didn't we have a question from last week that we didn't get to?
Oh yeah, we do actually. I'll find it real fast. I'm so fast now with technology.
Why he's so good with tech?
So there's a couple. Well, I'll save Damon's. Our buddy Joey Sanchez.
Jose.
He said, if you can go back in time to witness any point in Earth's history, where would you go?
Any point in Earth's history.
Mm-hmm. I hate that my mind goes to like see Lincoln get assassinated.
It's dark, Mike.
Yeah, that's like shit that bums me out about myself. Because like as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, I didn't want to be there like for Martin Luther King.
I was thinking Pangea, and I was like, all right, never mind.
I think I would like to go back to, I couldn't quote you on which era this was, but like, aren't we uncovering like buildings and cities and things that seem to predate what we think are like the oldest civilizations? I'd like to go back then to see if they're diving into Mike's conspiracy brain, if there were truly like civilizations here before us that failed and then we had a whole reset, and why and what happened. If not, Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
let's see what really happened.
Yeah, my brain went to all these assassinations. I don't know why.
Maybe go back to see like how the pyramids were actually built.
Yeah,
Just
a bunch of Mexicans.
just Aztecs and
Just
Mayans.
yeah. It's like, oh, they built it because there was millions and millions of them, and it all worked for free. That's how slaves work. I don't know. I think I don't know. Like maybe go biblical. See the parting of the Red Sea. What was that? What was that like?
Little Moses is my homie.
Moses is my homie, dude. To see what he went through. Maybe I'm gonna keep it in the Bible. I want to see how tall Goliath really was. See what that fight would look like. Yeah, I don't know. Noah's Ark. Beyond the Ark.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Still fucking on.
Beyond the boat. Man, I don't know. There's like sports things I thought I always like think it would be kind of cool to see, or like one of my like I think about this at work whenever I hear like a banger on the radio. I'm like, man, what would it have been like to be in the studio to see this or hear this?
Yeah. I think about that too. Like every now and then you'll hear like just this chorus that's just like, and because we've been there, like when the moment that something clicks and you're like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it right
That's
here.
the take. But just like imagine like being in like a session with like just like Whitney Houston, just singing one of like, or even like The Bodyguard, like that song.
When I was in school, I had a teacher who had, I guess, been involved with some sessions with Barbra Streisand, and he said that, dude, it was like they'd all be hanging out, waiting around, and then she'd come in, right? And it was like she comes in, okay, we know we're ready to work. She'd walk into the vocal booth, basically get herself ready. They'd hit record. She'd take wonder that whole thing and be like, later, and bounce.
It's hard. And that's before any kind of like Visalign. Well, no, I was say Visalign.
Straight to tape, dude.
That's crazy. Well, we were watching the thing with like the Boyz II Men, and they talked about David Bowie, about how like, oh no, sorry, that was for the auto-tune thing.
Or the T-Pain episode.
T-Pain.
Yeah.
And how like they're talking about like David Bowie just coming in and just like one taking basically most of the album.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
I mean, I probably could too. But we're just perfectionists now, you know. Nothing's ever good enough.
We like to take it line by line just to make sure that every line sounds great.
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I feel like I think I changed my answer. I think I'd want to go back to like an iconic album being made, be able to be there.
What type of
Yeah.
like a Queen record or like
Yeah.
a Beatles record or like a
Queen.
fucking like Pantera record or like a
Oh, you know what? If we're going there, I think for myself, probably like No Effects, Punk and Drublic,
Mhm.
or MXPX, Life in General for me,
yeah.
or Ignite, Our Darkest Days. Dang, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool. I would have anxiety about picking a place to go back to because if I only had one shot at this, I don't know what I would do.
Dude, what if actually, never mind. I was gonna say like, never mind. I was gonna say war. What war would you want to witness? It's like, why would you want to witness a war?
D-Day.
And just drop
Yeah.
you right in the middle of it.
I fucked up.
Now the question is, would we just be casual viewers or would we be in the shit?
That does change things.
Like by us dropping a fucking penny on the floor, are we gonna change all of history? Type
Right.
deal?
I think it'd be cool just to be fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like you're there, but you're not. You can't change or participate. You're
Just viewing.
Viewing.
Yeah.
I think that's the move. I'd like that.
I was watching this video that, of course, came up suggested to me because I follow Mike Perez, and it was like, I think we've stepped into a new timeline because don't you remember back in the day when we were younger, your heart was on the left side of your chest, and now it's like, no, it's actually like right here in the middle of your chest.
I wonder, but was that more just a general thing? Just to be like, it's easier to just do this as opposed to just do this.
I don't know.
Actually, no, it doesn't make any sense either.
Doesn't seem that much.
Yeah, how much work?
Yeah.
I don't know. The funny one for me was the hibernation one. Have you heard that one?
Mm-mm.
How like growing up, we're always taught that like bears, when they hibernated, they slept all winter.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, no, they would die.
So what is hibernation then?
They're just not as active.
Yeah, their metabolism slows down.
Yeah, they're like low energy.
But what's the difference? So we're all low energy when it's cold.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing where it's like, and apparently, and when the girl was explaining it, I was like, I thought that too. Which is, I thought for hibernation it meant that they sleep the entire time.
They told us.
I've Yeah, because I thought they had to eat like a bunch before hibernation, and they go and hibernate, and then that's why all like the document, like David Attenborough would be like, the cubs are making their first steps out after hibernation, and you're like, oh,
But they would die, right?
I guess.
I don't know how long. Actually, I don't know how bears work. What am I saying? I'd imagine they'd need water to survive a couple days. Like after a couple days, they would die.
Interessante, bro.
Sometime.
Next question.
So
Next question.
this was, I forget where this came from, but the question's coming from our boy Damon from Proposal.
All right.
He said, what should medication for diarrhea be called? And so I don't know where we saw this or how this came about. I think I did say that I wanted to say this on stage, but it's like the joke. It's a joke. The joke is the missed opportunity. It should have been called gonorrhea.
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 Did you speak Australian when you were out there? Did you do the rise of blights?
Rise of blights. I said heaps quite a bit.
Heaps shit house.
Heaps shit house. There was something that was funny that they said. I don't know. I think this time around I was just more listening to them talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because there was more Aussies around us. Last time we were in Australia, our buddy Chris Poods, he was our driver, so he was the only Aussie in our vehicle. So it was mostly us and then him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this time it was us and then there was 3 Aussies in the vehicle. Jonty, our tour manager, Jasper, our sound guy, and then Christian, our fill-in bass player.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was moments when like the 3 of them would just get going.
Yeah.
It was fun. Hearing Aussies like just talk about anything is fun.
Sick.
You're right. Well, so for this week's questions, those are from last week's. This one comes from Senor Jesse. He said thoughts on Fat Mike and Haley Williams beef.
Isn't that old beef?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of lame on Haley's side.
Really?
I think so. Because it's like shit. First off, it's shit that Fat Mike, and if anyone doesn't know, Fat Mike is the lead singer of NoFX, a band that is notorious for being their entire career for having just like really off-color banter.
Yeah. It's meant to be insulting.
Yeah.
Right? It's meant to push buttons, and it's meant to, but you're also talking about the same dude who like goes on stage and wears a dress.
Yeah.
And fucking like plays the whole set in a dress.
He's queer.
Yeah. Straight up, and he's never been silent about it.
No.
So
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird, and I thought it was kind of lame. I mean, obviously we don't know her side. This is kind of going off what Fat Mike was saying, but that she wouldn't meet with him. He wanted to apologize and talk to her, and she wouldn't meet with him.
Yeah.
I think that's lame. If you're gonna be mad, like
at least have the ability to talk about why you're mad.
yeah. So that's what I think. Let's see from Joey Groans. He says, for his first thing was more just he wants to get on the podcast and talk comics with us
Sick.
and movies, which I think we should. He said, my question is, what are some things y'all do to help with anxiety about going out?
Go ahead.
For me, I have to have a plan. Plans are huge for me, and just a lot of things to help me with my anxiety, which is why I have such a routine at shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like not by accident. I think when you're going out, like I'm a very go with the flow, and there's a lot of times where like a lot of like any changes into our plans and where we're going are usually like things that I know are gonna change. Like for me, it's not a big change if it's like, hey, we're gonna go get sushi and we get barbecue instead. That's not. I don't care about that.
That upsets me.
But what would get me is if it's like, hey, we're supposed to go do, I don't know. Yeah, we're supposed to go get lunch here, and then instead, actually, we're gonna go meet up with all these different people. That would give me anxiety.
Mm.
Then I'd be like, I didn't plan for this. But yeah, I think having before you go out, have a plan, and understand that, and also like make it accept in your mind that you're free to leave anytime you want.
Yeah,
and there's no don't feel bad about it.
Sometimes you got to bring your own car.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of bringing my own car.
Yeah, I've been bit in the ass a couple times. I was like, "This is my nap time." Arm the mic, being like, "Let's go get lunch." All right, cool. And then I'm like, "Where are we going?" They're like, "We're going to this place in L.A." I'm like, "What?"
Fucking straight Scooby Doo him.
Yeah, I think the big thing for going out is just have a plan, and just know like your little exit strategy, and just to be okay with it should it come about.
Yeah,
and maybe let others in on your plan, or like to just be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna like if your anxiety is that bad, to be like, hey, like I might leave early, so just heads up.
I think being like open and honest with your friends about that too. Like, I think it's no secret in our circle of friends that, like, if we get anxious about something or if we like are just like, I gotta go. Yeah. Like, there's no like pressure, right? It's always like, okay, cool, yeah, all right, I'll see you later. Or like, I gotta fucking crash. Like, I mean, like 10 years ago, maybe not.
More difficult.
Like, fuck that, you're fucking staying here.
Yeah.
Oh, here, drink this. Like,
yeah.
But like now, you know, we've grown quite a bit.
Oh, you have work tomorrow?
That's cute. So like being honest and open with the people that you're going out with. Also, if it's for me, I think I've mentioned a lot on this show that like I kind of tend to just force myself into uncomfortable situations so I can just deal with it. and there are times when like I'll have anxiety about going out to places or like going out to an event or a thing or going to do something. And I just have to like normally for me, it's like I have to put myself in that frame of mind. Like, hey, this is going to benefit you in the end. Like it's good for you to get out. It's good for you to go out of your comfort zone. It's good for you to leave that space. You know, and that works for me. I don't, you know, it might not work for everybody, but like once I can get like, to me, half the battle is just getting there. Once I'm there, I'm golden.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the like Martin always gives me shit about like not wanting to drive to LA or something like that. And I'm like, I just don't want to do that drive by myself. Like it's not an issue of the drive. I just don't want to go alone, you know? But when I'm there, it's fucking great. You know, like I have a good time. It's just the journey there.
I'm discovering the long drive back by yourself.
Yeah, the long drive back sucks. Like it's that first stretch is whatever.
Yeah.
Like same thing like on my bike. Like I fucking love riding, right? But it's coming home that I'm like, I'm by myself. I'm tired. Fuck, man. I don't know if I want to do this. You know. So like if I'm with a group of people or like a couple of us are riding, great. Like sick. Yeah, let's all go. If it's just me, I'm gonna take the car, big dog. Like that's just. Yeah.
Can I throw in something really random here? I don't know. I don't think you know this. And how wild is this? If you didn't know this, did you know that my dad used to ride?
Did not know this, and that is amazing. Why did he stop?
Because he was in a horrific accident.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I guess he almost kicked his own face in with his legs.
I had a couple people who older that I didn't know rode, and when I first started riding motorcycles like on the street, there's a difference between like riding dirt bikes and quads and, you know, like not being in traffic versus okay, you're in the flow of traffic, like, you know. So when I first started riding like Harleys and like on the street or street bikes or anything like that, I would have people that would talk to me like, yeah, I used to ride. And then they would just give me their horror stories. And I'm like, cool, this is sick. Thank you. And there were a couple people that shocked me. I was like one of mine was actually a member of the church. I won't say his name, but he was like an older dude. Never would have thought. And he was like, yeah, I rode sport bikes. And he's like, and one time at the I was coming up to a stop sign, and somebody ran the stop sign and had to put the bike down and went under the truck. Whoa. And I was like, fuck, for real? He's like, yeah. He's like, never rode again.
Damn.
Never rode again. And then you get the horror stories like my good friend Andrew, who's like, yeah, I bought myself a Ninja, went to go around in circles at the Rose Bowl, fell down, never rode again. He's probably gonna be like, it was more aggressive than that, you asshole.
The bike just fell over.
I remember when Philip first started riding, he was living in LA, and that stretch where like the 10 becomes, what is that, the 101 or whatever, like right in downtown, like by Alsaybar Street, right there. So he's sitting in traffic, he wasn't paying attention, the car in front of him was like dead stopped, and he slammed on the brakes so he wouldn't hit it and fucking dropped the bike in LA traffic on the freeway. Freaked out, had to fucking get up and get his bike going again.
I just left the bike and ran.
Through the freeway?
Just ran.
Being right into the show.
I've had a couple close calls, but like luckily, you know, knock
for
on
wood.
knock on wood here. I haven't had any, you know, near death experience. I've had some bad almost near misses, but nothing where I've been like, I haven't put the bike down or anything yet. And I hope I don't. But yeah.
This is one semi passing by.
Dude, I remember one day I was going to torture culture practice. I was gonna ride, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Somebody hit me up like right before I was leaving. I think maybe it was Steve. Like, "Hey, can you pick up waters and like beer and stuff like that?" And I was like, "Shit, well, I can't take my bike." So I jumped in the car, and then I went to get on the freeway, and I was stopped on the freeway for like 20 minutes just trying to get on the on ramp. But I was stuck. There were people behind me, so I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Finally, I get through the on ramp, and there was a semi with a motorcycle rider in the wheels, in the tires of like he was so wrapped up that they had to drape the cloth over the wheels and him. Like it was like a tent. And I was like, fuck, dude. And just to think like that just happened, right? That could have been me if I had left when I was supposed to leave, right? And I was like, fuck, that's absolutely insane. And then I went for a ride the next day. I don't know. It's just, I love it. I love it, but the older I get, the more it scares me.
This comes from Jonathan, Daily with Jonathan. It says, have you guys ever written lyrics that you look back on and disagree with?
1000%.
Well, disagree.
Yeah, I guess disagree is a tough term. I've written things that looking back, I'm like, I could have done or said that in a more clear and concise way.
Yeah.
Something that makes more sense than the way it came out. I don't know if I've...
I mean, fucking old NBR stuff for sure. Like, just being a dumb kid.
Like Mike Perez playing guitar old?
Yeah,
or
yeah. I mean, also just like not, probably not really understanding what I was even writing about at that time because I was just a young kid. Now, I don't know, not really. I can't think of anything that I would be like, I don't know if I still feel that way about this or... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wish I would have taken a different approach on like an album like Illuminator. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was a little too like personally upset. Like my own things I'm mad about. Mm-hmm. I think I could have probably done a better job of like, saying I could keep those themes, but I could have probably found a better way to write.
That's fair.
But good question, Jono. Damn it, Anthony says, what's the best guitar tuning and why is it drop C? I'm gonna pass this over to the riffer. The riffer to my left.
I actually agree, it's drop C.
Yeah?
It's that there's just something so beefy and so heavy about that tuning that's just everything sounds awesome.
I think at one point I would have agreed.
But Ryan is showing me the light of standard tuning.
Standard tuning, man.
Standard tuning and maybe drop D for like 2 songs. Mm-hmm. But standard tuning it is nice to have the tighter strings on the guitar.
Punch, a little punch.
Yeah. I don't know, but there's just something about that fucking open note drop C just you just I don't know.
I still remember discovering just drop D.
Yeah.
And just being like, whoa. Like, dude,
just that like and you go, oh.
That.
There's some weird tunings that I've heard like fuck, what's that like DAD GD or some shit like that.
Yeah, I never
like some weird like
the Dashboard Confessional tuning.
Yeah. Like the tuning where everything, like if you just play everything, it's a C.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't understand enough.
That's nerd shit, dude. I'm not about that stuff. That's cheater nerd shit.
That's what is it, like American football riffs?
Yeah.
All in that weird ass tuning.
That just comes from a place of hate and lack of guitar playing skills.
Well, but to answer the question, drop C is the future of torture culture.
Yeah,
we've made a decision.
Nice. I'm gonna mess this up.
Standard drop C. I'm gonna go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. There was a time when I could lie because I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. When people would ask about NBR tuning, and I think it was we're drop C, 7th position.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Hey.
And so I'm somewhere. Daniel's probably like, that's not close. But people would ask, and he would say like, tell them we're tuned to this, but we're playing the position of this. I was like, all right, man. And at one point, I had it memorized.
just so you
Just so I can tell people because I get
get it
asked that all
written
the
down
time.
in your hand.
Yeah, people are like, oh, well, you know, like where you guys like the songs you're in, like what key is that? What do you like? Do you like singing in that? I'm like, I mean, I like singing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
There is something about like lower tuning because you don't have to push as hard to hit the notes that's like comfortable, I think, for me anyways. But you have a higher voice than me. So playing in a more standard tuning or like a drop D is just fine. I'm like, hey, let's tune down so that I can hit those notes like
Yeah,
a normal
dude.
human being.
Dude, it was weird for me to play. Who did I sing for? I was doing a song for someone. I was like, why?
Creative Void.
Was it Creative Void? No, but I was like singing, and it just felt weird because it was so low. I think it was like in B or A, or I don't know, something crazy. And I was just like, this doesn't feel right.
Because I think everything for Creative Void was C standard, which means if we dropped the top string, it would have been in B. So drop B, C standard, and that's why everything was like beefy as fuck, and that's why I could get those like just lower, more aggressive screams because it was lower tuning.
Yeah, I don't know. I did a vocal for someone. I remember just thinking like, man, this is like boring for me when my voice sits. It just felt super like, I don't know. Yeah, and then if I went up the higher thing, it just sounded like too high.
Yeah.
Jordan asks,
Who?
Jordan.
Who's this?
This is Jordan. She is the girl I'm dating.
Oh my! You heard it here first, folks. She's like, "Why did you dodge my question last week?"
Dude, for real. She kind of called me out on it.
So is that a thing? Is that a thing now? Like you guys are dating?
We're dating. We go on dates. We're dating. We've got on multiple dates.
It's fair. That's fair.
For anyone, there's a Martha. My mom has a definition for dating. So I guess
What's Martha's
we're going with
definition?
that. It's if you're kissing, you're dating, like from high school on. So I think in a weird way, for me, I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the podcast. Like kissing for me is like a big deal. Always has been, which is why I think it was hard for me to like just hook up.
That makes sense.
Just have sex. Yeah.
Can we talk? I guess we can say that. Like you're not a big one night stand type of guy. You've never been like a. All right, cool.
Yeah, I think it starts with kissing, the emotional part of it.
Yeah.
If I can't get past that, if I'm not there, then I don't know. I'm not into it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I guess in a lot of ways too.
Is that why you didn't kiss me back?
I kissed you back. I was frightened, Michael.
I didn't know that these feelings would come up.
One of the things that was like, it was awesome because it like it made my life easier because I don't have to worry about like if she's gonna be jealous or not. It was with Stacy, and for her like because I think people would ask her like, do you really trust Mike on tour? And she's like, yeah. And her reasoning was like, she's like, I knew he liked me and it took him forever to do anything. I was like, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think for her too, because she's like, and if I ever did do anything like that, she's like, it's just because he was like horny, and like, but I know he doesn't like her, like something like that. She was like, say she was cool in that sense, where she like just understood, like,
yeah, she gets it.
She gets it. But yeah, no, never been a fan. There's moments where I feel like I'm like, man, I feel like I wasted opportunities on tour. But then there's like also you go on Instagram and you see that like so and so just found out they have like a 4-year-old. So then I feel better about my my decision.
Have we talked about? I guess Jesse would probably be the one to ask. Have we talked about like the moments like that we clearly remember in our lives where we had missed opportunities on this podcast?
Briefly, not.
Missed opportunities, huh?
Like to sleep with somebody.
Oh, have we ever talked about?
Yeah. Have we ever talked about this?
I don't think so.
Because I have one clear in my I was so dumb with girls until at least
Oh, I didn't know this story, but
At least
but
one.
share.
the one at my house.
Yeah.
This is probably a joke episode.
Which is
I had when I was in high school. I feel like I've told this story, but this is just how completely dumb I was when it came to like.
you were naive.
Girls and
You're young
stuff.
and
I had a girl come to my house after school, and she basically was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta get ready for soccer practice," blah blah blah. And I was like, "Okay, cool." She's like, I was like, "Well, the bathroom's right there. If you need to change." She's like, "No, it's okay." So I'm sitting at the island in the kitchen. Nobody else is home. It's just me and this chick. She was so hot. And she changes in front of me. She like gets down basically to her underwear and is just looking at me. And I'm like,
being a gentleman.
I'm being a gentleman. I'm legit like there's a fucking bowl of fruit on the counter and I'm like fucking with the bowl of fruit. Like and the fucked up thing is probably to her, she probably thinks like, oh my God, like he's not attracted to me at all. Was not the case. I thought she was so hot. But I was so dumb. I didn't get it. And then she like just slowly like
Shamefully.
like put her clothes on, put her soccer stuff on, and then she's like, all right, I guess I should go. I was like, oh, cool, yeah, like I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great practice.
I'll see you later, and then like gave her a hug and walked her out. And it wasn't until like 10 years later I was like just randomly sitting in my house and I was like, oh fuck. Like it's so long later that it finally clicked with me. I was like, damn it. We never hung out again after that.
Yeah, because she probably felt like she wasn't good enough, Michael.
Yeah.
And now she has a complex.
That's probably when the rumor started that I was gay.
Just a good friend.
Just a good
Just a
friend.
good bud.
Just a good bud.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Missed opportunity? I don't know. I don't think so.
You guys have-
I'm always the last to know when someone like is like into me, though.
Yeah.
You guys don't have those moments where like you talk to somebody from high school and they're like, "Yeah, dude, I had a major crush on you," and you're like, "What? Why didn't you tell me?"
Actually, I kind of did have that. Never mind.
Yeah. I've had that once or twice. And I'm like, what? No. You're lying.
I just go on. I just tend to believe that they're just big liars.
Yeah. You're just saying that now because look at this.
Yeah. Look at me now.
Look at me now.
Look who came crawling back. Wait, did we even answer her question?
What was the question?
Question was, we just...
No, you didn't even ask it because you started talking about how you're dating. Because you guys kiss.
What is the funniest joke you know by heart?
Ooh. I hate
So this
much.
Mexican... that's okay.
I hate this so much because...
Because you know some good ones that you can't share in here.
No, but also because when you... Like, I'm that person where you put me on the spot. I'm like,
Yeah. Because you know a lot.
I don't think I know that many.
You're a knower of jokes. A jokes smith.
I don't know. What's the funniest joke you know off the top of your head?
It's not really a joke. It's more just like a dumb thing where it's like when someone asks for like money, like if it's like $10, for like $9, why do you want $8? You can't really buy anything with $7, so why would I give you $6?
You just hurt Jesse's brain. I have an old blonde brunette. And a
Careful.
redhead.
Okay.
I guess we could go like little quick one-liners. You know, like what do you call two Mexican guys playing basketball?
Juan on Juan.
Juan on Juan.
You know that one?
The blonde brunette and redhead one was like, this blonde, brunette, and redhead walk up to this nice house, and it's like, hey, I wanted to, know like if there's any work that you need, any side jobs or anything like that. And the guy was like, oh, I need somebody to paint my porch. And the brunette was like, that's way too much work. I'm out of here. So they left, and then the redhead walks up, like, oh yeah, I need somebody to paint my porch. Nah, it's way too much work. I'm out of here. So then the blonde walks up. He's like, yeah, I need somebody to paint my porch. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. And then so she goes and starts working, and she comes back like 20 minutes later. And she's like, I'm done. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, that was so fast. And she's like, yeah, I painted the Porsche just like you asked, but I think you were wrong about that because that's a Ferrari.
Mike with the car jokes.
Real bad joke. Real bad joke.
I feel like a lot of the jokes I have are just probably not appropriate for the podcast.
Most of them are not appropriate.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna tap out as far as.
For the future of this podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many dad jokes out there too that.
Oh yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah.
I think. Well, this one is. We'll edit this out if it's bad. But the one about what are your pronouns? Or do you use pronouns?
Yes.
Then let me she them titties.
It's so bad.
We'll edit that one later.
No, we're gonna leave that one.
What was it? My wife told me to get in touch with more with my feminine side, so I crashed the car.
Dang. Oh, man.
Jokes. You got jokes.
Oh.
I feel like I'm just not a joke teller.
You're a storyteller.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't know. Jokes. I need to have like one line. If we're on tour, I'll usually have like a joke just in the barrel, just so I know, so I don't like fuck it up and try to think on the spot.
Yeah.
I have one like ready to go.
The Houston one.
Yep. Knew that one. The gonorrhea one was like gonna be one that I was gonna say in between breaks. Oh man. I'm happy. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say, I feel like there's some jokes I may have said a couple years ago. Maybe haven't aged too well. We'll find out when I get canceled.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen one of these days.
I've already. Have you ever? I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks about this. Seeing how there's a history of me being, doing on stage since I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
So chances are I probably said something maybe inappropriate, maybe off color. In my mind, I've already decided I'm not going to apologize.
No.
I don't want to apologize for anything like that. I'll be like, dude, I was fucking. When was this?
I think that there's got to be a point where like the shit that we did 10, 15, 20 years ago, like we're no longer those people.
Right.
Right? Like I need you to see who I am now.
Yeah.
Right? I've said a lot of stupid shit. I've done a lot of stupid shit. I'm sure everybody, even the people who are doing the canceling, have done things that either not even regret, like just things that like they wouldn't do now.
Yeah, they're different. Everyone's
different. They wouldn't
now.
say now. And so, yeah, that's...
Yeah, on this, I think I said it mostly in Australia, but like I was talking about how like the song Outdated, a lot of it's me. It's the way I used to talk about suicide, and I would talk about people who had, people who had some kind of mental illness and what I thought about it. Mm-hmm. Like with Will, I called him a coward.
Yeah. But you were angry.
Yeah, but it's just like. So if that comes up for me, I'm just like, well, that sucks. I said that. I've obviously.
Just wait till they hear you talk about homeless people.
I've come such a long way, Michael. Michael, I've come such a long way.
I know.
I actually had to call security on one the other day.
Did you?
I felt bad. Yeah.
Which one?
I don't think you've seen it. He's a newer one, but he's in the shop just hanging out, and then he was kind of like eyeballing people all weird. So then I just was staring at him, and then we caught eyes and we stared at each other for a long time, and then that's like, kind of, I don't know. For me, like,
Yeah.
that kind of tells you a lot. So he just stared at me, didn't say anything. So I went over to him and just asked him, like, "Hey man, can I get you a drink or anything?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No." I was like, "All right, cool. Well,
You gotta go.
you gotta get going."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a weird one. 'Cause I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Especially at our shop, we've had so many like bad.
Like, you've got one there. I know it's like a regular flyer there that is always asking for money. He's always can you feed me and my dad, or feed me and my brother? Or cool. Like, I pulled up on a motorcycle one day. He's like, "Hey, cool, Harley, man. My dad was so and so," and I'm like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Yeah, so can I have $1?" What? No.
You're like, all right, fine. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool, man.
All right, well, I believe that's it for our questions, man.
Man, we're gonna end on the bad joke thing.
Let's see. We can end. Let's just plug our resources, which we're finally happy we moved on from how angry we were about that. I'm happy that we're in a better place with our cards and resources.
Oh, I had one more. Am I the asshole?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. So it says, "Am I the asshole? I recently started dating this new girl, who also happens to write in on the podcast that I host."
I do it.
Well, it was one movie.
Right. Mike.
It was one movie. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Soften the wound.
Anyways, so Mike went to write with Ryan on Friday, and I didn't get a chance to go because I was at work. You happened to go early, so you're like sending me like videos and like the stuff and like the fucking banger that Ryan hit us with,
Which I had no part in, really.
yeah, that was all right.
That was all right.
And then so he sends it to me, and I'm like, dude, this has to have like this big chorus, you know, and like I kind of had told Mike this on Saturday, like I have to turn my like vocalist brain off, because I'm like, I'm listening to this track. Oh, it would be sick to do this vocal pattern here, this thing here, and I'm like, no, I gotta let Mike's got to do this, and then I'll come in with some input later.
Yeah.
But so then I was like, I just go, yeah, it's got to have this like fucking huge chorus. Mike's like, yeah, like this chorus about what'd you say? It's like about forgiveness.
I was like, dude, I think this song's gonna be sick, man. My idea is it's gonna be about like forgiveness and how like like if you're doing something without your friend. I forget how
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I still have it. Let me see.
I was trying to ride Mike's excitement, I was like, this is a good time.
He goes, I was like, it's got to have a huge chorus. He goes, it will. It's going to be this sick song about forgiving friends for losing shit and watching movies without them. And I just responded with, not feeling it. Too soon.
But look at us now. We saw Guardians.
Look at us now.
I saw it again yesterday.
Bailed on me for coffee so that you could go burn states or something. I don't know.
Burn states.
What? Oh, I was like, what? Burn state.
Yeah.
Which I think.
Which you just found out. You just found out that I that they call me Slaybar.
Dude, how? It kind of pissed me off a little. I was just like, oh, that's fucking sick,
dude.
Like, dude, we thought his last name was Slaybar. I was like,
it's so much cooler.
Yeah, it's way cooler.
So much cooler. Yeah, when Gerald and I were texting randomly, he was like, "Dude, I'm gonna just start calling you Slaybar," and I was like, "I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm fine with this."
It's cool. It kind of pisses me off that I didn't think of it sooner. Or that I haven't heard anyone call you that. Have you ever heard that before?
No, that was the first.
Him and Daniel they both thought that.
That's fucking awesome.
Because of your Instagram name? I don't see how they got that. I'm like going on to see your Instagram right now.
It's just my name.
I know, but I'm trying to see like how did they get there?
I guess I could see it if you kind of like move.
It's 'cause you slayed it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you rearrange the letters, but I guess I guess I kind of see it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Dude, my search history is pretty funny.
Can you read the top? Can you read the top 3 searches?
I don't know why I was looking for. I mean, obviously, funny raccoons, But I don't know. I can't remember why I was looking for golden retrievers. Anyway, and then like boobs and butts and stuff and guy stuff. It's not all raccoons.
Boobs and butts.
Boobs and butts. Anyway,
Raccoon army.
so with that.
Well, I guess that's it for this.
Oh, and
episode.
he says, my name's Rocky Raccoon. I was like, oh.
At Walking Blind Pod everywhere.
It's episode 75. You're welcome.
Episode 75. You're welcome. I actually so I ordered a thing that was supposed to be here by today, and it didn't show up in time. I was hoping to have it for episode 75 because this window pisses me off every time, and I've been trying to find ways to like, hey, what can I do to get rid of this window? I found a way. So it's gonna look really cool here. Imagine episode 75 looks sick like this right now.
What is it?
I'll tell you later.
That reminds me, I have some things I want to bring. Some decor.
Yeah, cool, dude.
One second, we'll talk about it.
Like you know when you like first start dating that chick and you're like, hey, can I leave like some socks here? And they're like, yeah, there's like a drawer down here.
Yeah.
I'll give you a drawer.
And then it takes over everything.
No, I'm just kidding. Bring it in, dude.
That'd be sick. We'll put
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Find a nice home for it.
I was thinking it could be sick to do like on each side, like maybe like 2 shelves on each side, like one on your side, one on my side, and then just put the stuff that like
Our flair.
your flair. You know?
I can't want to be motorcycles, cars, freaking
Yeah.
tools.
Mine'll be wrestling.
All right, let's go eat. We're clear.
At walkingblindpod@gmail.com. At walkingblindpod everywhere. Walkingblindpod.com. Walkingblindpodcast.com. Follow it all.
Yeah.
Follow it all. Love you guys. Peace.
Put it back again!